Hello, code lovers, and welcome. Today, we're going to explore the absolute foundation of JavaScript, data types. So, what is data? Think of it like the different ingredients you use to cook a meal. You have vegetables, spices, meats, and so on. In programming, data is just information. And just like with cooking, we need different types of ingredients to build an application. We need text for names, numbers for prices, and simple yes or no answers to make decisions. To put it simply, that is anything you might assign to a variable, pass as a parameter into a function, or get back as a return value. These items that we can treat as data fall into two general categories. First, we have primitive types. These are the most basic, simple values like a single ingredient. The primitive types are a string, number, BigInt, Boolean, undefined, null, and symbol. They each hold just one simple piece of information. Second, we have object types. These are more like a complete toolbox. They are complex containers that can hold many different values. These include the general object as well as the specialized ones like array, date, map, and set. In this video, we'll focus on the simple fundamental primitive types. Let's get started. Okay, first up is the string. String is how we represent any kind of text in our code. It could be a person's name, a message to a user, or even a single letter. To create a string, you just wrap your text in either single quotes or double quotes. Let's jump into the code and see this in practice. I'm going to declare a variable to hold the title of a movie. So I write const movie title. I want to put here a text, a simple text, okay? If you want to define a text, you should use single quotes or double quotes or backticks. Okay, so I use double quotes and I write Inception. What a great movie, by the way. Okay, semicolon. Easy, right? The text inception is now stored as a string. We can do the same for user message. So I write const user message equals to, now I'm gonna use single quote. So single quotes, all right, please log in to continue. Semicolon. Now, modern JavaScript gives us a special kind of string using backticks. These are called template literals, and they have a superpower. They make it incredibly easy to embed variables directly into a string. Let's say we have a user's name in a variable, and we want to create a welcome message. First, I'll show you the old way. All right, const username equals to single quote Alex semicolon. Next, I write const old welcome equals to single quote hi comma and plus username plus comma welcome back semicolon. And console.log old welcome semicolon. And if I run it, yeah, it works. Okay, it's fine. But see how we have to use plus signs to connect everything? It works, but it can get messy. Now let's do it the modern way with backticks. Watch how much cleaner this is. So I write const modern welcome equals to backticks hi comma, and I use $, curly braces, to inject my variable's value. Okay, I write username inside curly braces. Next, comma, welcome back, exclamation mark, semicolon. And now console.log, modern welcome. Yeah, it works. Much better. By using $, curly braces inside the backticks, we can place the variable right where we need it. It's cleaner and much easier to read. Next, we have the number type. This one is straightforward. It's for any numerical value. You can use it for whole numbers, which we call integers, or for numbers with decimal points. Let's jump into the code and see this in practice. Okay, I write const number of students equals to 25, semicolon. You see, you just have to put a number here, and it's a number type. Next, const course price equals to 199, semicolon. And const total cost equals to numbers of students times course price, semicolon. And console.log total cost. And if I run it, yeah, it works as you expected. Now the number type has a special value you need to know about, NaN, which stands for not a number. You get this when you try to do a mathematical operation that's impossible. For example, what happens if you try to multiply a number by a word? So if I write const result equals to 10 times 2, and here I write a string like pizza, okay? Single quote, pizza. Next, console.log result, semicolon. And if I run it, yeah, you get NaN. JavaScript doesn't crash. It just tells you the result is NaN, not a number. It's JavaScript's way of saying, I can't calculate that, okay? So whenever you get NaN, it means the calculation went wrong. Now there's one more special numeric type called BigInt. Think of the regular number type like a standard calculator. It's great for everyday math, but it has a maximum value it can safely handle. If you need to work with truly enormous whole numbers, like numbers you might see in cryptography or high-level scientific calculations, you need a special tool. That tool is BigInt. Let's jump into the code and see this in practice. To create a BigInt, you simply write a whole number and add the letter N at the very end. This tells JavaScript, treat this as a special, super large integer. So let me show you. I write const very large number and semicolon. Next, const my BigInt equals to another number. Now I add N at the very end. So yeah, semicolon. This is a BigInt. Now we can do math with it safely. So I write const bigger int equals to my BigInt plus 100 and semicolon. And if I console.log bigger int and I run it, yeah, it works. It's a BigInt number. By adding that n, we can perform math on these huge numbers with perfect precision. And one important rule to remember is that you cannot mix BigInt and number types in the same calculation. It's a special tool for a special job. Okay, our next primitive type is the Boolean. This is the simplest of all. A Boolean can only have one of two values, true or false. Think of it as a simple on-off switch. It's perfect for answering any yes or no question. Is the user logged in? Is the file finished uploading? Let's jump into the code and see it in practice. So I write let is user logged in equals to true, semicolon. Next, let has admin access equals to false, semicolon. And now I write if is user logged in. Next I write console.log, single quote, welcome. You can see the dashboard. Semicolon. Else console.log, single quote, access denied. Please log in. Semicolon. And if I run it, yeah, because is user logged in is true. We see the welcome message. If it were false, we'd see the other message. Simple, powerful, and absolutely essential. Okay, next up is undefined. A variable is undefined when it has been created, but it hasn't been given a value yet. Imagine you declare a variable, but it's an empty box. Its state is undefined. Let's jump into the code. I write let selected city, semicolon. Next, console.log, selected city, semicolon. And if I run it, yeah, we get undefined. See, we didn't assign any value. So JavaScript automatically labels it as undefined. This is the default empty state for variables. Okay? Now this brings us to null. Null also represents no value. But it's different from undefined. Undefined is accidental. Null is intentional. It's when you, the programmer, deliberately assign no value to a variable. Okay, so let's jump into the code. Okay, I write let active user equals to null, semicolon. Here, we are explicitly saying there is no active user right now. The key difference is undefined means a value was never set, but null means the value was intentionally set to nothing. Now, the final primitive is symbol. A symbol is a very special type that lets you create a completely unique value. It's often used as a secret key inside more complex structures. We'll do a deep dive on this later. And that brings us to the object types. As we said, these are containers like object, array, date, map, and set. Because these data structures are so powerful and fundamental, in future sessions, we will examine each one in its own dedicated video. We'll have one video just for the general object, a separate video just for array, and so on, so we can understand completely. So to quickly recap what we learned today, string for text, number for regular numeric values, BigInt for enormous whole numbers, Boolean for true or false decisions, undefined for when a variable has no value yet, and null for when we intentionally set a variable to have no value. These are the basic building blocks. Master these and you're well on your way. Thanks for watching, and guys, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.